everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys what books I'm bringing to college with me. So as I film this video, I leave in a week. Well, a week and a day, but the day's almost over. I leave in a week for college, and I need to get all of these books, not all of these, like all the ones that are over here that I'm bringing out of my room because they're taking up space and I need to hurry up and get them packed. So yeah, there's quite a few of them, and I'm not going to apologize for it because you guys know I have a problem. Alright, so the first stack or so I'm going to get through is kind of like more like usable books, like journals and whatnot in my Bible, and then kind of the books for nostalgia's purposes or for sentimental reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and go through those first. I probably won't give a summary for too many of these because I don't want this video to be a billion years long, so here we go. Alright, so as I mentioned, I have my Bible right here. I definitely want to bring this with me. God is a big part of my life and always has been. This is one of those journaling Bibles because I really wanted to start the Bible journaling, but then I couldn't find pens that weren't going to bleed through, and I just didn't want to destroy it because look how pretty it is, you guys. So yeah. Okay, so basically I'm just going to try to like show you guys as many of these as possible. I don't want to have to edit too many clips, so I'm just going to keep going through them. So I have Grace Not Perfection by Emily Lee. It's basically a book about trying to have as much grace in your life as possible and not being stressed and just trying to not strive for perfection because it's impossible to achieve and it's basically just going to make you crazy. I'm really excited to read this, but I feel like this would be really good for me to not be stressed out. So I wanted to bring this one because I've been working my way through this one pretty slowly, but it's pretty good. And then I have my Literary Journeys Reader's Journal. I feel like you guys probably seen this already if you watched my New York haul/book haul with all the little places to write down what you read and if you liked it. That way it'll be a little bit better for my YouTube channel and reviews and etc. whatnot. Have you whatever. Then I have two Nancy Drew books with me because you guys know Nancy Drew, I wanted to be her when I grew up. They were my favorite books whenever I was little, and I have I don't say the majority of them, I have quite a few of them, but I wanted to bring a couple that I hadn't read because sometimes it's good just to throw it back and read something quick and it reminds you of your childhood. So yeah. Going through my stack over here. I have Alice in Wonderland, of course, because y'all know I wasn't going to leave for school without a copy of Alice in Wonderland. The first one I have, I also showed in my book haul, so if you guys haven't seen that, go and check it out. It's like, I'm not going to pull it out because it's kind of annoying, but it's like an accordion style of the book. I showed it in my other video though, so if you want to see it, go check that out. It's from Classics Unfolded. Woohoo, creative name there. That just, whew. That was kind of an obvious one. I don't know why that didn't just click until now. And the other copy I have is the Macmillan Alice. I think this is their 150th anniversary edition, maybe? I don't know. The point is, it's really pretty, but this one's special because at my graduation party we had everybody that came sign it and write some kind of little note on the inside, which normally you guys know I would be all against people writing in my books, but this is for a good reason. If you can see that it has like the teal pen because it matched the theme of my party. This has been one of my favorite books for so long, so a lot of people wrote kind notes in there, so I figured that would be pretty nice to bring with me. And along those same lines, I'm also bringing Seussisms, A Guide to Life for those starting out and those already on their way. So we had some family friends that came to the party also, and they got this for me and wrote a cute little note in the front. But it's basically this book that has different pieces of advice from all of Dr. Seuss books, which I just thought was really thoughtful, so I'm going to bring that one with me also. Alright, so then I'm bringing my two favorite books, and if you guys have not watched my videos before, you won't know which books I'm talking about, but if you've watched my videos before, then you guys know exactly which two books I'm talking about. That'd be The Book Thief and Fangirl. So, The Book Thief, you guys know I have read like a billion times. My poor copy is all taped up and kind of falling apart, but it's beautiful and I reread this a lot whenever I need just like a good book to read. And it's just so phenomenal. If you guys haven't heard of this book, you clearly have been living under a rock because this is amazing, just spectacular. And then I am bringing Fangirl because this is also my favorite book, and it's about a girl in her freshman year of college and her just having to break out of her shell a little bit, and I figured it would relate because I'm going into my freshman year of college, which is going to be really interesting and a little scary, so I figured this would be a good kind of pick me up whenever I'm a little nervous. So yeah. Oh, and if you guys haven't seen this before, this is my signed copy that I got for Christmas a couple years ago, and much love, love it. Alright, so then I have 2 books that I got while I was in Paris, which I've probably showed you guys if you guys watched any of my vlogs or my hauls from when I went to Europe last summer. I have The Little Prince, because yeah, still haven't gotten through this one yet. You know, I've only had it for like a year and I still haven't read it, and it's a children's book. I don't know why. This is like maybe like 50 pages and I still haven't gotten through it. I don't know what's wrong with me. But apparently this book makes people cry, so I want to bring that one. And then for the purposes of the fact that my room is like travel themed and I've been obsessed with traveling, I'm bringing my copy of Shakespeare and Company, A History of the Rag and Bone Bookshop, because of the fact that this is like my favorite bookstore ever when I went. And this is just, it literally has like the entire history of the store in here and all these really cool like newspapers and like comic strips and stuff. I don't know. Super cool. Alright, and then last on this little list of like children's books slash sentimental books slash whatever I would name this list at the beginning of this, I have She Persisted by Chelsea Clinton. I also got this one in New York while I was at BookCon. I did not wait in line to get it signed, which I think I mentioned, but this one is just like a really inspiring book about, you know, persisting, given the name of the book, but it's all about just pushing through and inspiring yourself and how far it'll get you, which I think was just really, really awesome. I think it's a really good message for children to be reading about now. That way they grow up knowing they can do anything that they set their mind to. Right, so don't hate me because that was only like a third of the books that I'm bringing, and like I said, I don't apologize for anything because you guys know I have a problem and I needed like a crap ton of books with me, so that's what I'm doing. So stick around if you would still like to see the rest of the books that I'm bringing. Alright, Roses by Layla Meekum? I can't read today, you guys. This has been compared to, every time I go to say the name of the book, I can never think Gone with the Wind. That's it. Everyone compare this one to Gone with the Wind. I figured that'd be really good. So there's that one. And then I have 1,000 Places to See Before You Die, because again, my room is travel themed, and this one has honestly like a really cool list of all of these different, it's like kind of like newspaper clippings all about different places broken down by continent of all the places to go and see. So that's pretty neat. I have Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. It's a poetry book that I'm really excited to get to because it's supposed to be really, really good. I also really want to get my hands on The Princess Saves Herself in this one because I found it in Target and I read a couple poems and oh my goodness gracious, that was phenomenal. I'm so excited. Alright, I have A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. Last names, you guys. Are you surprised? Children's book that's a classic that I haven't read yet, surprisingly enough. I don't know why. How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This one won the Pulitzer Prize. I've had this one on my shelf for about a year now. I'm surprised I haven't gotten around to it yet. Don't hate me, you guys. It's still on my TBR and it needs to stop being on my TBR, and I just need to read it because you guys know my obsession with this author. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, and you guys know, oh my goodness, like she and Ransom Riggs are like the power couple of YA authors because, you know, he wrote Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. She wrote the Shatter Me series, and they are married and they just had a beautiful little baby child, and I'm so excited because I love them both. I follow them both on social media. I'm kind of ashamed about the fact that I follow her on everything and I'm obsessed with her as I am, and I still haven't even read her most popular series. So hopefully we can fix this soon. We Should All Be Feminist. Yep, got this one. I've talked about this one in one of my other videos before. I have The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. This one is my best friend's favorite book, and she's been telling me for years to read it. And I really need to because she doesn't really read, so the fact that she actually recommended a book to me, I know it has to have been good for her to have read the whole thing, so I really need to read it. Oh god, I hope she doesn't hate me for saying that. It's not a bad thing, she's just not a reader. I have The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. This one's supposed to be magical realism is what I've been told. Apparently this author writes a lot of that, and I've never really read anything that's like magical realism before. So this one should be interesting. I've heard this is a pretty popular one of his. Then I have The Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Suzanne. I showed this one in my New York haul if you guys watched that. If you didn't, you guys should go check it out when you're done watching this video, because quite a few of these books were featured, so alright. So I have Piper Parish, again, New York haul, check it out. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This one is supposed to be set in World War II, and the character it follows is blind, I think is what I've heard. It's a winner of the Pulitzer Prize, again, like the Goldfinch, so they have to be pretty good. Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Still haven't jumped into this series yet. I'm a little frightened because all of the books are massive. And saying that, I now come to Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. You guys also know, if you've ever watched like any of my videos since I've created this channel, I've been trying to get through this first one for like ever. So, but I just started watching the show. No spoilers, please. I'm still only on season 1. I'm only like 5 episodes in. But watching the show, I actually remembered some of the stuff in the book, which I was actually a little surprised by, and I feel like the show is helping me understand the book a little bit more now that I have kind of a reference for who characters are and I can actually visually see it, because it gets confusing. There's quite a few characters in these. 1984 by George Orwell. Had it for a while. Classic. Need to read it. Everyone says it's phenomenal. Pretty self-explanatory. An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. Again, pretty popular book here on YouTube, and I need to read it. My TBR list is actually kind of ridiculous, you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Which brings me to a couple other books that have been on my TBR for quite some time. And there's actually kind of an interesting story behind it. And that's A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray and The Sweet Far Thing by Libba Bray. And if you guys have read this series, you know what's wrong with this picture right now, because it's the fact that I have the first book and the third, but I don't own the second. So basically what happened, so I remember hearing all about how interesting and cool these books were when they were super hyped on YouTube, and I didn't have the money at the time to get all 3 of them at the same time, and I just happened to be at a thrift store and I found the third one, so I figured I would go ahead and pick it up because it was hardcover, pretty good condition, and I knew I was going to read the books. Fast forward to like a year later, and I still hadn't gotten the second or the first book, and I happened to go back to the same thrift store and I found the first book. Didn't find the second, so I figured, you know, if I read the first book and I like it, then I'll just like Amazon the second one or something. Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. I still need to read this. I've had this since like the day that it came out because it was so hyped. I like pre-ordered it and everything, and I still haven't touched it. Okay, the next couple I am actually a little ashamed of because you guys know how I feel about Sarah J. Maas. She is like queen of all books, and I read The Court of Thorns and Roses, that whole trilogy, and I started the Throne of Glass series. I got through the first 2 books and then the prequel book, and then I stopped reading it, but I continued to buy the books, which is kind of sad. So I have like the 3 most recent books that I haven't read yet: Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, and Empire of Storms. So gotta get through these. Would this be a video on my channel without me talking about Cassandra Clare? Because probably not. I have the Bang Chronicles and Tales from Shadowhunter Academy. They're the short stories that go along with the series that I haven't read yet, so gotta read these. I also really need to read Lord of Shadows, but I didn't buy it yet. That's it, you guys. That's all of the crazy amount of books I'm going to bring with me to college. So, yep. I'm just thinking I'm gonna have to carry this from my car to my dorm and it's going to be quite heavy.